Glad to have you with us. Now it's time to go into our next discussion. The 360 members of Nigeria's House of Representatives will get a utility vehicle each.
Now, the lawmakers get official vehicles every 4 years. Now, the contract for the car releases were awarded in 2015.
The cars, initially to cost about 3.6 billion naira at 10 million naira per unit, were reviewed in light of the fluctuating exchange rates between the naira and the dollar. Now, reports say the vehicles cost about 6.1 billion naira at 17 million per unit.
Already, the House of Representatives has taken delivery of about 200 of the 360 Peugeot 508 series it ordered from the Peugeot Automobile Nigeria Limited. And the minimum wage in Nigeria is 18,000 naira. We'll need you to have that at the back of your mind somewhere, because we'll come to that
and
as we get along.
Nigeria is in recession.
Nigeria is in recession. We'll get to talk about all this as we get along on the show. Now, we have a lawyer and the executive director of the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, Adetukumbo Mumuni. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
It's a pleasure being here.
You know, this is not the first time Nigerians are frowning at purchases like this by the National Assembly. But if we really need to take a look at things holistically, when you heard this story of taking delivery of about 200 vehicles a few days ago, what played in your mind?
You see, what we continue to witness since the return of the so-called democracy has been a situation where some people say we elect them to serve us. At the end of the day, they configured their whole operation in a manner that the citizens of Nigeria are the people actually serving them. Take, for instance, in an economy where salaries are being held minimum 5 months in some states. Take in an economy where pensions, legitimate pensions, are not being paid regularly.
Even National Assembly aids were owed at a point.
That's what I'm saying. You see that the average Nigerian always hold the short end of the stick, and this is unfair to Nigerians. If we elect you to serve us, it must not continue to play out as if we are the ones serving you. Let's take an average worker in Nigeria. Can an average worker in Nigeria afford even a Tokumbo vehicle? Can an average Nigerian worker afford a Tokumbo vehicle? We now talk of a bunch of legislators that says we must replace their car every 4 years. Even the average lifespan of the car used by ordinary Nigerians, we don't change it every 4 years.
Oh yeah, in the defense of the honorables of Nigeria National Assembly, Honorable Namda said that the members will pay for the vehicles eventually.
No, that's another gimmick to keep our minds off this matter. It was not the original idea. If it has been recorded somewhere earlier that they will pay for it, let us have it. We situate matters according to time and dates. So maybe this one is another talk to get us on.
Maybe it's an afterthought.
Yes.
Because the point there is this is a product of budgetary allocation of the National Assembly.
And you know, once it's a budget matter, it becomes a legal issue, and they will insist on having it as budgeted.
Okay, now, but let's really look into this issue on critically. In real terms, is there anything wrong really for National Assembly members to get these cars right now?
You see, what I see,
or is it just about the timing?
No. What I see wrong in it, as at this time, is the extreme disparity between the life the ordinary Nigerians are living now compared to what they can afford personally. You understand? What we are saying is that it is unethical, immoral to say you are the servant of a people, the bulk of whose salary have not been paid, the bulk of whose pension has not been paid, and you now say you want to access cars that will be purchased with 6.1 billion naira.
Well, Honorable Namdas again said that it's going to be good for the Nigerian economy, that it's going to provide employment through supply chain. I'm just saying what he said.
No.
I'm not the one that said it. It's Namdas that said it.
It's all right that he said that. But we know that I don't even see what the possession of a brand new car would do for legislation in Nigeria. I can't see a connection. Now that there should be reasonable comfort, okay, but excessive, mind-boggling comfort, it's not to me sane in an environment and economy that is in recession, in an economy where the annual monthly salary of the average Nigerian worker is 18,000 naira. No, that to
Even
me,
the value has depreciated because of recession.
yes, that's what we are saying.
Inflation.
They should be talking about, if we can afford it, a look into the modalities for increasing the minimum wage of Nigerians. You see, let me tell you what I have consistently observed about this National Assembly. The only time you see them comfortable is when they talk about their own perquisite of office. When it comes to matters that will benefit ordinary Nigerians, you see them playing the ostrich. That to me is unfair. You cannot say you represent a people and you live far and above, in comfort, over and above what the ordinary people that you are representing enjoy. It's not fair.
But I just reviewed about 33 constitution, amended some 33 constitution just to, according to them, you know, make Nigeria more livable for many.
No. What I would have thought should have been uppermost in their mind when they say we are amending the constitution should be matters that will impact positively on the socio-economic life of Nigerians. We have consistently advocated that let us take the provision of Chapter 2, those provisions that says that are regarded as fundamental directive principle of state policy. They represent ideals. In some other countries that we started together, those provisions are now fundamental human rights. Let's put them in the same position as what we have in Section 4 of the Chapter 4 of the Constitution, so that they become equally justiciable. To me, if they do that, I would say yes, this amendment is towards the economic and social benefit of Nigerians. But the amendment that I see them talk about are matters that will give power to some people. They will create some official bottleneck, officialdom again, will continue to finance. When people talk about restructuring, I don't think there is need for political restructuring. What is needed is economic restructuring that will impact on the life of our Nigerians.
All right, now let's talk about it a little bit about the brand of the vehicles. The National Assembly and even the federal government generally has been talking about patronizing Made in Nigeria. We know that the brand they've got now, although to a great extent is also Nigerian, but there is the original Nigerian product in Innocent that one would have thought that they should have patronized to send signals to Nigerians that they are doing something in that.
And that is what I say, that when they say it will assist in improving Nigerian economy, I don't see how.
Okay.
You understand? If there is indeed a Nigerian manufacturer of cars, they should have gone for that. You don't need a 608 Peugeot. You don't need a Land Cruiser Jeep for effective work. You do not, I know that you don't use a Land Cruiser Jeep. I don't use.
I certainly don't.
So you see, when you talk about proportionality rule, you cannot be serving a people who are extremely below you in terms of standard of economic and social life, and you say you are representing them. That in the manner of speaking, you are saying you have now converted yourself to the master, and the people you are serving becomes your slave. That I can't see any moral or ethical justification for it. And you see, when you talk about governance, ethics, morality must always operate at the back of your mind. It's as simple as that. You see, like again, let me say, I don't see what acquisition of new cars every 4 years will do to legislation. I don't see.
Okay, yeah, that was about what I was about to say before you said it, that must they buy new cars every 4 years, and then at the end of the fourth year, they auction the cars to the outgoing members of the National Assembly? Is it necessary?
You see, let me tell you, the way we've been running our democracy in Nigeria since we started in 1999 has always been configured for the betterment of those who rule us. Now, if you say you need a car every 4 years, a new car for every 4 years, the one you used, finish using before, now let us say there has to be a forum where the ordinary Nigerians who can afford it are made to purchase it, not the person who used it earlier and who is taking a new one. You see, that's another way of, you know, a 4-year-old car cannot, unless it's involved in an accident, cannot be bad, talk less of being extremely bad. Those are the
Because some of them
issues.
have been in the National Assembly for more than 4 years, so meaning that every time they get
I know of a legislator that has been there for 16 years. You understand? So I'm only supporting your point that some of them have not only been there for 4 years. Some of them have.
I'm saying that at least every term is 4 years.
Yes,
4 years.
I'm
Meaning
saying,
that, for example, the
yes, I
lawmaker
know
you said,
of
he has 4 official cars.
Yes. So how do you reconcile that with an economy that is just getting out of recession, with an economy in which salaries are being owed minimum of 5 years, with an economy cannot pay the legitimate pensions of those that have served the nation in their productive years? You see, when you retire as a civil servant or a government worker, you retire at the age of 60 or 35 years in service. There are people like that whose legitimate benefits are not being paid. It's either the states are not decide not to pay it, or they cannot even afford to pay it because of the economic realities of the time. So how do you justify this budget as to cars and those facts and circumstances?
All right, we have to leave it here because we don't have all the time right now, but we must thank you, Adetukumbo Mumuni, for joining us right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.